I literally have just one question. Chimamanda, why? Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Rachel here. As always, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a thing. You can like this video so that it is fair to other viewers as well. Today I'm going to be briefly sharing my thoughts on Chimamanda's short story. It's called Zikora, and it came out, I think, maybe November or was it October 2020? I can't remember. About 2 months ago, thereabout. And well, of course, there was a rave to read it and all. I couldn't get my hands on it, and of course, last year was last year. So I finally got to read it as one of my first reads for January. And yeah, like, what? Like, this book, I don't even understand. Like, short story, like, oh, and by the way, this is a Chimamanda Stan account. You guys already know Chimamanda Adichie, and you know her books from Purple Hibiscus to Americana to Half of a Yellow Sun to Dear Ejiawele, and a couple of other ones that she has written, and she's obviously very much well known. So this Zikora is a short story. I think it's about 35 or 36 pages thereabout. It's about Zikora, a woman who sort of finds herself pregnant, and it starts with her being in a labor ward, like she's about to give birth to the baby, and her mother is there and the father of the baby is not there with her. And in the book you sort of later know why the father of the baby is not there with her as she's having the baby. In between, there are time lapses where you go back into her life and see her romantic relationship with a Ghanaian guy. I've even forgotten his name, Seth. And then she has who is actually the father of the baby. He ghosts on her and is not even present. Like, she's sending him text messages, oh, it's time for the baby to be born, oh, it's a boy, oh, it's this, is that. He's not even responding, like, at all. And we get to understand from the father's perspective that, you know, when she got pregnant, she sort of already made the decision, because I think she was 39, he's 37, and she sort of made the decision to have the baby. It's like, what else am I going to do? I'm 39. There's really no need to abort the pregnancy. But he felt like she had already made the decision, so what was there to talk about? You've already made the decision. This is not really what I would want. We're in different phases and stages in our lives, and yeah, I don't want this. And she wanted it, and he ghosted. And then the book ends like, okay, so that's basically what the book is about. The thing about short stories, why I don't like short stories, is that you get so invested emotionally and heavily into a book, and then all of a sudden it ends and you're like, okay. But then my problem with this particular short story, so I'm going to start off with what I liked, then what I didn't like, and then I'll do what I liked, because I'm always used to doing the sandwich effect. So I like the fact that this book is a short story. It's one of those books that if you're looking to sort of get out of a reading slump and you need something short and on the go to read, then you should definitely pick it up. It's not available in hard copies. You can only get it, I think, on Amazon, and I think it's Amazon Publishers or something like that did the book. So you have to go on Amazon. I think at some point they said it was free for people who are using Amazon Prime. So it's only in soft copy that you can get the book, and so it's a very easy, and then imagine reading something in soft copy, so easy to read, easy to understand. I love the writing style of the book. I think that it was short for the purpose for which a short story was supposed to serve. Yeah, so that was it. Now I'm like, what is the head and the tail of this book exactly? Like, I feel like Chimamanda just woke up one day and wrote something in her drafts, and it was beautifully written because it's Chimamanda. Maybe they edited it a couple of times, and then she's like, yeah, whatever, I'm going to publish it because I feel like. I'm just going to drop it because I feel like. And I'm not even going to do hard copies of this book because that would just be a waste of time. So let me just drop like soft copies of this book, maybe on Amazon or whatever, and everybody will be fine. Like, because what was really the head and tail of this book? And my problem with short stories is that when a short story is what it is, a short story, right? Everybody now starts trying to philosophize and logicalize this situation. Oh, could it be that the book is about the resultant effect of ghosting on like the human being, or the emotional trauma of a woman not having her baby daddy at her labor date or something like that? Or could it be that maybe when it comes to childbirth, the man and the woman have 50-50 say in what happens, whether they decide to keep the baby or not? Like, there's so many things that I could bring out of this book if I wanted to go and philosophize on the themes in this book, but I'm like, really, I want to know what the head and tail, and I need somebody to tell me what the head and tail of this book was. That being said, this book was beautifully written, and I'm so mad that she better have a plan to make this book into something bigger. Like, this could have been expanded. I don't know where it would have gone to. I don't know what the plot would have been like, but this book could have been expanded into something bigger, and I don't know whether this is the selfish part of me that just wants more, but it could have been expanded into something like more of a novel-sized book, and I don't know what would have happened. Like, it just seems like something with so much potential. It's just so pregnant, for lack of a better word, no pun intended. But there's so many things that could come out of it, and you can just hear my frustration, because I'm like, I finished reading the book and I'm like, no, this is obviously not the end. So where's the end of the book? And the ending just got me all the more frustrated, because okay, you already know that you're not helping us. We like long story book, you are doing short story, okay, so you know that we're obviously going to be left wanting. Why can't you end it in a nice, okay, yeah, maybe you want us to know more. I promise you, the ending of this book feels like it's not an abrupt ending, it's like an incomplete ending. It feels like as if there was a page that she forgot to send to the publishers, and like the page will probably give a proper resolution. And I guess why I'm so frustrated is because this short story was beautifully written. It was so beautifully written. Like, it's Chimamanda, so I was not expecting anything less from her. So it was lovely. It was easy to understand. I love the way she went back and forth in time between what was happening in the pregnancy ward where she was going to have the baby, the effects that her mom, man, just from 35 pages you could define her mother's character. Her mother's character was so strong. Like, the characterization was on point. You could tell Zikora's character, you could tell Water's character. Water was actually her cousin. You could tell the mother's character, and you could tell, oh my goodness, why do I keep on forgetting his name? Her baby daddy. You could tell his character just from such a short book. I was so impressed with the writing style and with how good the book is. Oh my goodness, I'm just really hoping that she does something about it, because what type of, like, I don't even understand. I don't know what the head and tail of that book was. Like, honestly, like, I feel like if you want to say what a short story was, that was the definition of a short story. But you don't leave it feeling like there was anything to it. I know that the only thing that I did think about when I read it, and that's me philosophizing because that's the way I am, is when it comes to childbirth and unexpected pregnancies, right? It's a woman's body, so she should be able, she's the one that's going to carry the child, so she should be able to decide whether or not she wants to keep the pregnancy or not. Now, when you're with someone and you're in a partnership and you often take decisions together, which was clear in Zikora's relationship, and they did everything together, they were so close, they were like best friends, and they took important decisions together. She had met his family, I think he had met hers also, and he felt like she didn't take the decision with him, and it leaves one at an impasse, because okay, what about if he decides not to keep it and she decides to keep it, or what about if it's vice versa? And so that's something that struck me in my head. Like, really though, when it comes to unexpected pregnancies, I mean, one says, oh, there's a school of thought that says it should be 50-50 since both parties conceived, contributed to conceiving the child. But then most people are like, well, it's her body, and if she decides not to keep it, for example, or she decides to keep it, because you see, with Zikora, she had decided to keep the pregnancy, and then he's like, what about if he's not ready to be a dad? What about if he has other commitments? But by extension, he is now a father because she has decided to keep the pregnancy. And this guy literally ghosted. When I say ghosted, like, he blocked her. He didn't even call to find out, okay, what's up. And it just made me wonder, like, I think different phases and stages of people's lives actually do change them. And I think this is, he wanted her in her life for the stage and the phase at which he was. And I think she got carried away in thinking that they could extend that into motherhood and fatherhood, and he probably never saw himself as a dad and didn't want to be a dad, and that was why he ghosted, you know, without any explanation. But she knew that that was the reason why he stopped picking her call. But I think a part of her believed that, okay, don't worry, when I have this baby, at least for everything that we've gone through in the past, he will definitely come around and see what he can do. But that really wasn't it. Like, my guy was set in, I'm not trying to have a baby at this stage of my life. And I think those were the only things that I thought about as I was reading the book. Man, Zikora's mom, oh my goodness, I don't even know. In terms of characterization, Chimamanda did a good job in terms of just like characterizing, bringing her mom's personality to life, and it was so realistic. Like, that's literally how some of African mothers are, who don't believe in like weakness, or they believe only in perfection. And Zikora was sort of like a reflection of that, and she had used something, she tried to use something to hurt her mom, thinking that, oh, maybe if she told her about a past experience it will hurt her and stuff like that. So those are my thoughts of what I could think about. Like, do you know when something is too short for you to even think? Like, you are thrust into this world and you're enjoying it, and you know it's a short story, yeah, whatever, don't remind me. And then all of a sudden you're yanked out of it, like, and you look around you and like nobody's feeling bad for you that you've been yanked out of this world, and you just have no other choice but to get upset and be frustrated. That's exactly how I feel about this book, because I thought that it was just too beautifully written to be a short story. So now I don't know whether she was trying to tease us with that, if she's bringing something out in 2021 or whatever she's working on. Like, she better be doing something, because man, like, I know that there's the HBO series that's coming out, I think on Americana, so yeah, I guess people are looking out for that. But then, can we have some more good Chimamanda writing? Like, other than that, I really did not get the head or tail of the book, really. I didn't. Like, I just didn't. So I'm torn, because I really love the writing, I love the characterization, I love the development. Like, how can something so beautiful be in something so small and short, and then you just like yank me out of it? So let me know what your thoughts were on this book. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you've read it. If you're yet to read it, read it. It's a nice short story that satisfies the purpose of being a short story. If you're looking for something short to pick up, you've been in a reading slump, you just want to get into something nicely written, you can. But let me know in the comments if you've not read it, if you're going to read it, if you've read it, if it's something that you liked. Tell me what you like about it. In fact, I need somebody to tell me what the head and tail of the book is. That's what I want in the comments. I need you to tell me what this book is about, because I don't know. Like, I don't really get. And maybe people that read short stories can help me out, because maybe I'm struggling here, but that's what it is. Anyway, that's my ranting on Chimamanda's Zikora. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.